Relieve, Respond, Revive. WSFL-TV presents The Rebound, South Florida.
But it was just too much to handle with the kids here screaming in the background or climbing on me while I was trying. So I ended up just stopping altogether.
In the midst of the pandemic, more and more women are making a tough choice, leaving their jobs to care for their families. But experts fear this could erase what women have been fighting for decades. 6.5 million. That's the number of new COVID-19 rapid tests the state will receive, how they work, and where they'll be distributed as the state continues to rebound.
This is not a job. It's our passion. You know, when you're dealing with these clients and you're seeing the needs in the home, and when they see you and they know you and you establish a rapport with them and their face light up when they see you, it's awesome.
Helping South Florida residents in need. How Meals on Wheels is doing more than just putting food on the table. The Rebound South Florida starts right now.
Tonight, I discover some Florida school districts are dealing with a surge in school nurses leaving. What I discovered about how the pandemic is playing a role and what school districts are now doing to fill those gaps. They are the first line of defense against student illness and the spread of sickness at schools. But across the state, school nurses are still in high demand, and in some cases, even shorter supply. School nurse shortages are nothing new, not here in Florida or anywhere else across the country. But with the number of COVID cases now on the rise, some Florida school districts are dealing with a double whammy. More cases, fewer school nurses. In Manatee County, over the first 10 weeks of school, a dozen school nurses have left, more than 10% of the district's nursing staff.
It's more than we would like.
In Pinellas County, 13 school nurses are now gone. And in Palm Beach County, 43 school nurses have retired, resigned, or took a leave of absence since the beginning of the school year.
Every year, districts lose school nurses.
Catherine Burge is a school nurse in Hillsborough County and president-elect of Florida's Association of School Nurses.
The numbers don't surprise me. They're probably a little bit higher this school year.
According to the most current statewide data, which is 10 days old, Florida's health department is reporting more than 1,300 COVID-19 cases on school campuses. While schools are largely proving not to be the super spreader sites some feared, schools short on nurses are finding it difficult to recruit amid the ongoing pandemic. For the first time, Pinellas County schools are relying on nursing agencies to fill the void while we look for a permanent replacement, according to a district spokesperson. In Miami-Dade, which recently reopened its brick-and-mortar option to students, the district is also working with staffing agencies, posting online an immediate need for a full-time, part-time, and per diem school nurses.
You're never going to have one RN in every school, although that is our goal. 2 schools, 3 schools is where we're all about sitting right now.
With some school nurses now being forced to cover more school ground, and the districts eager to find them some relief.
We've been able to replace the majority of those, but we're still looking for 5 more positions to fill. So if you know anybody out there that's looking for a position as a school nurse, send them to us.
Katie Legrone, WSFL TV.
I'm Forrest Saunders at the Capitol. Federal health officials saying today Florida can expect to see a steady supply of brand new rapid test kits through the end of the year. Florida receiving 6.5 million of those Binax Now tests that were recently approved by the FDA.
You've probably heard of them. Binax Now, the less invasive rapid tests hailed for not needing labs to get results in 15 minutes or less. By week's end, Florida will have received about $2.3 million from U.S. Health and Human Services, a little less than half of the state's Binax Now allotment, $800,000 to long-term care and other congregate facilities, $1.7 million to schools, first responders, and more.
It doesn't replace everything else. It occupies a niche that we wanted to fill, the rapid point-of-care, cheap, highly available, and potentially eventually home-based testing.
Admiral Brett Jawah updating deployment Monday. The HHS official saying the kits will be arriving in Florida each week, likely through January. National supplies now enough to meet demand, he says, after a testing shortage this summer.
We're going to have as many as 48 million a month of these.
The FDA greenlit emergency use of the tests in August, but that meant it didn't have time to fully study them. The good news, limited federal evaluation shows Binax tests are 97 to 98% as accurate as PCR lab tests for people with symptoms.
I think there's a lot more to be learned about this test.
But epidemiologists like Mary Jo Trepka warn there hasn't been enough research on detection of asymptomatic cases.
I think people need to be really careful if they're getting negative tests.
The Florida International professor recommending people not treat the results as golden until more study can be done.
Florida's 6.5 million tests are part of a larger 150 million the federal government is handing out across the country. Federal officials said today they'll reevaluate whether another round is needed before the end of the year. That's the latest out here at the Capitol. I'm Forrest Saunders reporting.
I was furloughed from my position, so coming here just to get anything as my kids grow is just helpful, just to find reasonable prices and not have to spend a fortune on what they want.
Helping to make ends meet. One local consignment shop is doing just that. How you can not only save, but also cash in. You're watching The Rebound, South Florida.
A federally funded program in South Florida is helping thousands of low-income adults rebound from overdue electric bills. Meals on Wheels is taking part in that program and stepping up to help support those in financial need.
I have some clients who just cannot pay their electric bill at all.
The Emergency Home Energy Assistance for the Elderly program provides South Floridians 60 years and older with a low income the funding they need to pay for their electricity and costly repairs to AC systems. Vicki Glinton with Meals on Wheels says thousands of clients have been helped by this program.
They call us and they let us know how many people are living in the home, and we look at the matrix. I think for one person, they can't make over almost $19,000 a year. It's 18 and some change, but that's not a lot of money when you're talking about a yearly income.
With additional funding through the CARES Act, the E-HEAP can cover up to $3,500 in FP&L charges and AC repairs.
I was in the hospital quite a few times, and of course my Social Security check, other problems I had, but that's how I was able to get the help.
Nancy Arvin was in the hospital for multiple surgeries. Being unable to keep up with her bills, that's when she reached out to Meals on Wheels for help.
I'll never forget when I met Vicki for the first time. She came to my house and she said, I'm going out for a little while because I had no water. She actually went and left me for a little while and went to Publix. And she bought me a case of water and chicken and canned food. And she was that's when I first met Vicki.
This is not a job. It's our passion. When you're dealing with these clients and you're seeing the needs in the home, and when they see you and they know you and you establish a rapport with them and their face light up when they see you, it's awesome. You will go the extra mile to make sure their needs are met.
There's no cap on how many times a household can apply for assistance per year. If you or someone you know is in need, you can find the eligibility requirements on how to apply for E-HEAP benefits on our website, WSFLTV.com.
This money was just to survive, and it got a little bit tough. It got where your state of mind, just tells you that you have to get a job. That was the everyday thinking.
Struggling to make ends meet while trying to find work. We know how important it is to make sure you have a steady income. Still ahead, the local restaurant that's stepping up to hire several employees. Getting through this with stories to help get back on track as we rebound in South Florida.
A historic and disproportionate number of women have left the workforce since the start of the pandemic, and new studies are showing another 1 in 4 are still considering doing that, or at the very least considering downgrading their careers. Here's why experts say this trend is happening and the concern they have over this impacting all women in the workforce long term.
So here are two of my, I don't know if you can see them, two of my girls.
In addition to twin 3-year-old girls, Ashley Stewart has a preschool-age son. The mother of 3 started this year as a part-time occupational therapist, excited though about growing her career.
I had just found another position that I was going to start in part-time in addition to the one I had, and I was hoping to build my career with that and move up to like a heavier part-time or even a full-time position.
But the pandemic hit, and she, like many, had to reevaluate what was best for her family.
I switched to doing just a couple of virtual sessions on my computer during the week, and it ended up that it was just too much to handle with the kids here screaming in the background or climbing on me while I was trying. So I ended up just stopping altogether. I was excited to be starting to work more, and I'm sad that I'm not getting the opportunity.
Ashley Stewart's decision has become a common one for women across the country. Just take a look at this data from the Department of Labor. It shows women are leaving the workforce at a rate 4 times higher than men.
The number of women who have left is startling because at the beginning of the year, we were celebrating the fact that women were 50% of the workforce. So we've lost significant gains since then.
Nicole Mason is the president and CEO of the Institute for Women's Policy Research.
We can draw the direct line between the lack of childcare and daycare closures to women exiting.
Experts like Mason are concerned if women continue to drop out of the labor force at this rate, a decade or more of women's equality and progress in the workforce could be erased.
Employers have a role to play by making sure that their workplace policies are flexible, providing childcare subsidies. The federal government has a role to play by, instituting a national care infrastructure that will do more to keep women in the workforce by making sure that they have childcare and other supports.
Steps that could help women again move forward in the workforce instead of back. I'm Alicia Nieves reporting.
As part of our commitment to help South Florida rebound, each week we highlight a local company that's hiring. Cuba Cabana is hoping to add on several employees.
It got tough as time went on because, you have to take a little bit of your savings.
Roberto Lopez was out of work for over 6 months. He filed for unemployment as soon as he was let go, but the unemployment checks weren't enough to support his family. Hundreds of thousands of South Floridians are in the same position as Roberto.
This money was just to survive, and it got a little bit tough. It got where your state of mind, just tells you that you have to get a job. Like you have to be. That was the everyday thinking.
And he did. After months of searching, Roberto was offered a job as a manager at Cuba Cabana, a restaurant in Doral, and they're looking to hire 20 more people.
As we're approaching to get to the full capacity, we definitely, assistant managers, barback waiters, bartenders, almost every position, because coming from 50% to 100%, you have to bring, kind of like a lot of different positioning.
The founder of Cuba Cabana, Juveni John Lewis, says he expects candidates to have experience in the hospitality industry.
You have a venue that's a very high intense venue with a lot of different, characters to it. So they're looking for experienced people. And if they're not experienced, I'm sure, they qualify for the job. Management will put them to training and get it going.
I was totally happy when they offered me a job and when they say that this is a type of company where you can grow in.
If you're interested in Cuba Cabana or if you'd like to check out other local job listings, just go to our website, WSFLTV.com, and click Rebound.
Here's what's next on the Rebound South Florida. The holidays are just around the corner, and if you're trying to budget in a family getaway, you're not alone. How a hotel subscription could help you save money. And a pop-up consignment shop is helping one local community. We'll tell you where you can go to shop and sell next.
With the holidays coming up, we know many of you are trying to find the best gifts and the best deals. A kids consignment store in Davie has everything from books and toys to strollers and clothes.
Shoppers at Just Between Friends Kids Consignment Store are here to find necessities for their kids at a good price.
I was furloughed from my position, so coming here just to get anything as my kids grow is just helpful, just to find reasonable prices.
We have to watch our pennies with things that are happening, and it's a great way to recycle and get some nice treasures.
I think because the need is so great, we're even getting more shoppers than we've ever had before. Like, we've never opened on a Tuesday, and for the first time this year, I mean, people were waiting at the door even before we got here.
Shoppers get great deals and consigners make money, a win-win for both parties.
As you can imagine, with COVID, there's been some interruptions of income, so this is a great way for moms and dads to consign their children to gently used items and earn money. Like, typically, our average consigner can earn anywhere from $250 to $350 in just a weekend.
Items that aren't sold will be donated.
And if they've marked it for donation, we're going to send it to our local charity, which is the Country Line Church of God in Westlake. And so they come in at the end of the sale, they help us break all the inventory down, and they take it back to the church to help children in need.
The store is located at 5595 South University Drive. The store is open through Saturday.
Holiday travel is just around the corner, and hotels are already offering some pretty good deals. But some companies are starting to offer travel subscriptions for just a few $100s a month. Here's how it all works.
As we near the end of October, Thanksgiving is less than a month away. Hanukkah and Christmas are both in less than 2 months. And a lot of hotels are taking note. Paula Twidell with AAA says some are offering deep discounts.
You're seeing things like perhaps 15, 20, 25% off hotels in certain regions to entice people to make that commitment, and also flexible terms and conditions.
She says right now hotels are up at about a 50% capacity. And some companies are finding new ways to keep people traveling.
We've never had nearly as busy a fall travel season as we have right now. Not even close. We've been basically sold out in every mountain town in the U.S. Since August.
Brent Handler is the founder and CEO of Inspirato, a subscription-based luxury travel company.
It works like Rent the Runway or the original Netflix subscription worked, where as soon as you check out, you can book your next trip. So you can have one reservation at a time.
Through Inspirato Pass, travelers have access to hundreds of destinations around the world. No nightly rates, taxes, or fees.
Families will, take one of our houses in Cabo for a month, or families will move to Aspen for 2 months.
But not everyone is ready to travel just yet. Handler says about half of his clients aren't traveling at all.
The other half is saying, I'm traveling more than I normally would. I have this opportunity. It might be once in a lifetime. I'm working from home. I normally go into an office. I'm going to, travel 10 times in the next, 4 or 5 months.
It may entice people that if they're going to work remote, they may as well do it in a nice location.
And for those holiday trips, Twidell says about 2/3 of Americans will travel by the end of this year.
It's not a matter of if people will travel. It's a matter of when they feel comfortable, when they feel safe to do so.
I'm Lindsay Boach reporting.
We know there are so many reasons why we love to call South Florida home. The cities and neighborhoods are constantly growing throughout the years, giving people so many options for just about anything. North Miami Beach is one of those areas that has changed a lot, but kept its charm. Tonight, we leave you with Rachel Saboznik to tell us why.
I've always loved it here. I love the pier at Newport. It's kind of like a little hidden gem. You see the sunrise there. It's just spectacular. I'm excited. There's new projects coming. When I was growing up, there was a little mall right behind me here, and now that's going to be a mixed use. So I'm excited about that. The big part of North Miami Beach is all the activities you could do here.